Get Me a Library. Today's book that I'm reviewing is The One Memory of Flora Banks by Emily Barr. How do you know who to trust when you can't even trust yourself? I look at my hands. One of them says, Flora, be brave. Flora has anterograde amnesia. She can't remember anything day to day. The joke her friend made, the instructions her parent gave her, how old she is. Then she kisses someone she shouldn't, and the next day she remembers it. It's the first time she's remembered anything since she was 10. But the boy is gone. She thinks he's moved to the Arctic. Will following him be the key to unlocking her memory? Who can she trust? Flora, be brave. Oh my god, this book was so good. It was so sweet, it was so lovely, it was like heartwarming, and it was also a rare book because there are not a lot of books where you can actually get into the main character's head, and this book you did, and it was so well written that you didn't want to leave that character's head no matter how weird it was. So this girl called Flora has had amnesia since she was 10 years old. She doesn't remember anything before she was 10. She doesn't remember simple things like, oh, your friends come to visit you today. She might know who they are because she knew them before she was 10, but she doesn't remember them coming round to see her. So the way she gets by is her mum writes a notebook for her, and in that notebook it says something like, read this when you're confused and there will be Flora's story. And within the story it basically explains that she's had amnesia and she can't remember things. She can remember how to make a cup of tea, she can remember how to ride a bike, you know, these kind of things, but she can't create new memories. So ever since she was 10 years old, she's been told that she had a brain tumour. And because of the brain tumour, they had to operate on her when she was 11, which means that she can't remember anything, and that is why. So in the book, Paige is her best friend, and she's known Paige since she was 4 years old. So although Paige looks older now, she knows it's Paige. Obviously her mum and dad are older, even though she knows who they are, they look older to her. And she also has a brother. And although we don't actually meet her brother in the book, her brother is involved in the book, and you do talk to him and you do hear about him. So one day Flora is at a party with her friend Paige and she kisses a boy. And I'm not going to tell you who the boy is or anything about him, other than the standard stuff that says on the back of the book. So she kisses this boy and he tells her all about the Arctic. He tells her all about the lights in the sky, and he tells her all about Norway, and how ever since he was younger he's always wanted to go back there because he went there to see the lights one time, and he's on his way there to university he goes off there basically to be at university there and learn about the satellites and to learn about all the stuff there. So she wakes up the next morning and she remembers every single thing that happened while she kissed him. She remembers what he said to her. She remembers the fact that he said to her, you won't remember this. She doesn't even need to look at her hands where she writes things like, this is the door number, this is that. She doesn't need that because she remembers everything. And she's bamboozled about it because she doesn't remember what she wore that day. She doesn't remember who she went to the party with, whose party it was for. She just remembers that she kissed that boy and what he told her. And already that is something that is weird. So what does she have to do? She's got to find this boy. So the story of the one memory of Flora Banks is, it's the memory that she remembers that one night, and it's how she deals with that memory and how she acts on that memory. So, spoiler, she follows that boy to the Arctic. She follows him there and she tries her hardest to find him. And when she's there, she meets such incredible people and they're all so lovely to her, and she creates such great friends, and when she's there she just enjoys herself so much, and you see the Flora Banks that her brother has always said that he loves. And she's on this medication that makes her dozy, and she doesn't have it when she's there, and she becomes Flora, and it's just amazing to see her transformation. I mean, she still forgets things, but you're in her mind. Now, Emily Barr has created this story, this world inside Flora's mind. She'll talk about something, and then all of a sudden she'll talk about something completely different, and then talk about something else, and that's what's going on in Flora's mind. She'll be sat there opening a present, or she'll be sat there having dinner, or she'll be sat there watching TV, and then all of a sudden she'll forget, and she'll start thinking, oh, I have to do this, or I have to do that, or what's this, or she'll think, my name is Flora, I'm 17 and I kissed a boy, and then she'll jump to something else, and that is what's going on in her mind. And she still thinks she's 10 years old, yet she sits there knowing she's 17, and it's very weird. And I really, really like the characters in the story. I really liked Flora, I really liked the people that she meets, and it's kind of nice to go from where she lives in Cornwall to go to Norway with her. You're actually doing the journey with her, and there's a few moments when she talks about something and it's like a flashback, and you don't know much about the flashback, but you just get little snippets, and then she thinks about something else, because that's what's going on in her mind. And you start to unravel the story. You start to think things, even though they might not be actually happening. There's all these thoughts and all these things in your mind, and it is such an incredibly written story, and I really, really like this book. So please, please give it a go. I think it's now on paperback. I got it on Kindle before it was on paperback, but it's a really, really good story, so please, I recommend you reading it 100% because it's brilliant. So thank you for watching my short review of The One Memory of Flora Banks, but there's not much more to say about it other than it was a spectacular book, and I very, very enjoyed reading it, and I couldn't put it down, and I think I finished it in 2 days. So yeah, so thank you again for watching, and please let me know if you've read this book, and if you haven't, then read it because it's fantastic. I will see you next Wednesday. Bye bye.